It's been about a month since Michael went out to look for wildlife. So, Saturday morning, wake up at 5 a.m. when the alarm goes off as usual, check to see what time the sun will rise, and 5:48 a.m. Not ideal. Means that no time to record an intro, hit the ground running. Let's see what he's up to. Point out, while we're doing this kind of weird spinning shot thing all around, the noise you are hearing is the killdeer. This bird right here. And that is Bar Lake State Park. I'm literally going to my checklist to cross it off right now. Not that checklist, this one. Bar Lake. Done. Oh, it did a cute little animation of a circle as it, instead of checking it off. Why did it do that? Anyway, there we go. That was that was really good, actually. Like, surprisingly. It hasn't been like this in a long, long time. I feel like this was back in Georgia when I would go to a place that was crowded but had birds. Okay, I was out there for 3 hours, and every minute of those 3 hours I saw or heard a bird. Mostly saw. A lot of them were making noise, but you hear one all over the place, but then you can't see them. Saw them all over. So there's a whole lot that I will have to dig through all the photos and pull out the really good ones and be displaying them here while we're talking about it for some of the really cool stuff. And then I'll highlight two things. There was a hawk. Took some cool pictures of a hawk, I'm pretty sure, because it was just right there in the tree, and then I watched it take off and go right across the creek there and then land on a mound of dirt and just kind of hang out there on the dirt. That was cool. And then the other thing that really highlighted it, something I've been wanting to see for a long time, is the American kestrel. It's a really pretty bird. It's got some really pretty coloring to it. I like the orange on it especially. And I've seen them at a distance, most especially when I am driving and I see one like on a fence post or, hovering or coming into land or something like that. I go, oh, that's really cool. So I saw that, and I saw several of them. I saw a pair of them kind of hanging out in the trees right near the edge of the water line. And one of them had something it had caught that it was eating. On that note, the kestrel had a squirrel, maybe? A rodent of some kind? Pretty graphic. Can't put that on YouTube. There's no way that's not going to get flagged at some point by some AI scrubbing or algorithmically. It's kind of gory. So, with everything, all the photos, go on Patreon. So a little plug, for as little as $3 a month, you can support me and get access to tons of bonus content like that. And then I learned a little thing about kestrels that I'd never known before. They burrow into trees, or they go into like hollowed out trees. The dead trees that were there had openings where like branches had fallen off, and the kestrel took its meal and just burrowed itself down into a hole that I would not have thought that the kestrel would fit into, and then popped out a little bit later, and then went off and came back. I watched it happen several times. That was really, really cool. I haven't seen something like that before, and yeah. So I'm glad I came out and did this. Another new location off the checklist. Try to see if I can make it to the rest of them over the rest of the summer / fall / before the end of the year. Really cool stuff. Not that crowded. There are people showing up now, quite a lot of them, so I'm going to hurry along because this parking lot's going to get full quick. But while I was out there over the course of that, there were mostly people out also with big lenses taking pictures of birds. And I had less than 10 until about 9 o'clock when I turned around to head back. So yeah, really good time out. That was some really cool stuff. Yeah. I'll be coming back here for sure. I expected, not knowing anything about this place, besides its location, looking on the maps, I expected, well, it's probably cool. I can read about it. Obviously, it's a recommended place and it seems cool, but I figured its location, in contrast to the airport, would mean that there'd just be nothing usable for audio here if I were to come back and do video recording. Hence why I'm just walking, taking pictures, as well, for one reason, and so that I can explore and kind of learn. I didn't walk the full lake because that's like an 8.5 mile or something like that. That's a lot. I've never done that kind of a walking in one trip before. Probably would not get to that point. That would require a lot of training. But yeah, a lot of people. I can see 3 different sets of people right now from the car walking with cameras, and more who have just binoculars or spotting scopes or things like that. Really cool. I mean, that's great that a lot of people come here and do that kind of stuff, and all the people I walked past were respectful. So really cool stuff. But I started talking about that. The planes weren't that bad. The noise from the planes. Yes, it would happen, but it was brief. It was not a constant, even though there's a large amount of planes that were coming in. I saw, I don't know, probably 5 or 10 large planes going to land at Denver, which makes sense. It's a busy international airport. So I get that, and that's why I expected, it'll just be constant. But I'm thinking of that last place, the other place that I went to that had a little airport by it, but that was a little airport, and they were literally just like a small single prop engine, I guess. People who were doing that just for fun to go up and come back down. That was a lot louder because the planes are a lot closer. This one, not so much. It's just kind of a gentle roar whenever you hear it. So I probably could come back here with the video set up and get some good stuff because there are birds everywhere, just all over the place. I at least saw one new. That would be a third thing to highlight. The hawk, the kestrel. I'm not sure what kind of hawk. Hopefully I'll figure it out. And then the third thing would have been some kind of duck, a waterfowl that I'm not familiar with immediately off the top of my head. I have to look it up because it had a specific white ring around the head that I've not seen before. And I think that's really interesting. So hopefully that one is actually new and I can check off a new bird of some kind. 2 new ones. We have this here, which Michael was talking about, blue-winged teal. That's one that we haven't seen before, so it's new off of the checklist. It does have that kind of white. It's more of a crescent in all the photos in the bird books, but very cool. And then the second one is actually a wood duck, both the male and the female. Really cool. I think that's going to do it. I'm out of here. I'm going to try to come out again on Monday. Maybe not here, but try to do some video stuff on Monday. We'll see. This was a good Saturday, though. See you next time.